I woke up to a miracle today. Triggers fade as I find my way. No judgment to lead astray. In this peaceful state I'll stay.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another exploration of the material, part of the World Harmony Project.
Yes, welcome, and apologies for the slightly unpredictable schedule lately. Work shifts have been demanding, but we're committed to getting these out daily, even if the timing varies a bit. We appreciate your patience.
Absolutely. Today we're looking at lesson 264. It's one of those lessons that, well, it feels incredibly comforting just to read.
It does, and it offers such a foundational truth. We also want to say thank you for all the comments and feedback you've been sending. Please keep it coming.
You can always reach us at ACIM at theworldharmonyproject.org.
Or find us on social media, TikTok and YouTube under @theworldharmonyproject. So shall we begin with today's lesson?
Let's.
Okay. Lesson 264. I am surrounded by the love of God. Father, you stand before me and beside me, in the place I see myself and everywhere I go. You are in all the things I look upon, the sounds I hear, and every hand that reaches for my own. In you, time disappears and place becomes a meaningless belief. For what surrounds your son and keeps him safe is love itself.
There is no source but this, and nothing is that does not share its holiness, that stands beyond your one creation or without the love which holds all things within itself. Father, your Son is like yourself. We come to you in your own name today to be at peace within your everlasting love.
My brothers, join with me in this today. This is salvation's prayer. Must we not join in what will save the world along with us?
So that second paragraph has a line that's just, well, pivotal. There's no source but this, and nothing is that does not share its holiness.
Right. And I think it's easy to just skim right over that, reading it quickly, and miss the sheer power of it.
It snaps into focus when you emphasize that tiny word, is. What it's saying is, God's love is the only genuine source. Nothing else truly exists, has actual being, unless it's part of that holiness, held within that love.
Okay, so if we really take that on board, what does it mean for all the stuff we see every day that seems separate or threatening, or, let's be honest, definitely not holy? It sort of pulls the rug out from under the ego's whole argument, doesn't it? Because the ego loves pointing to all that evidence of separation.
It does. It exposes the ego's main trick, which is making separation seem solid, real, unavoidable. Separation started in the mind, that tiny mad idea that we could actually be apart from love. And that belief then projected this whole world of form, this stage for the drama.
But the forms themselves, they're neutral.
In themselves, yes.
Yeah.
But the ego jumps right in and interprets them, uses them as proof of conflict, scarcity, loss.
So the amazing shift, the reframe here, is that the world actually becomes our classroom.
Our place for remembering unity.
And the lesson points to the specifics, the sounds around you, someone's face, even your coffee cup as the actual materials we use to practice seeing this surrounded by love reality.
And that leads us straight into the practical challenge, right? The gap between getting it intellectually and feeling it when things get difficult. We can sit here and nod about forms being neutral, but the second someone's unexpectedly rude.
Yeah, that idea of neutrality can just evaporate. Poof.
And the ego story, I've been wronged, I'm under attack, feels immediate, utterly convincing.
So it demands this constant vigilance, this consistent choice to reject our usual way of seeing things. We're just so conditioned to react instantly. How do you keep going with that, especially when it feels slow? The ego wants fireworks, immediate proof, How do you stay motivated when that spiritual muscle feels like it's building really gradually?
Patience. That's turned out to be key for me. Honestly, I'm just kind of dabbling with these ideas. I'd read something, think about it, then walk away and forget it 5 minutes later.
Sounds familiar.
But over time, slowly, I started finding little moments, actual situations in my day where I could genuinely apply these concepts. And seeing it work built momentum.
Yeah.
It's that slow, steady progress that actually builds the confidence, I think, not necessarily dramatic breakthroughs.
And speaking of patience, one reason we need it is we often feel like we're waiting around for love to show up. Love isn't something I have to conjure up or manufacture when I'm in a tough spot.
That feels like a huge shift in where the power lies. It's not about waiting for something outside of us to fix things, but recognizing our own power to see differently. That repetition about location just confirms it. When you walk out your door, love doesn't stay behind. It's already where you're going. It's within you and all around you.
It's never inaccessible. Think about air.
You don't walk into the next room wondering if there'll be enough air to breathe, do you? You just trust it's there. It's fundamental.
Right, you don't even think about it.
Yet somehow, with God's love, we often treat it like maybe it'll run out, conditional.
And the lesson just flat out contradicts that scarcity thinking, deeply ingrained as it is. It insists love is literally everywhere. It counters that belief that we have to wait or perform or be worthy enough for some kind of intervention. It's more about being willing to see what's already present.
Exactly. Seeing what is here, not just what we think should be here. And that willingness simplifies the practice, though, because it doesn't always make it easy.
Yeah.
A powerful way this lands for me is in those small everyday moments, like driving. Someone's tailgating aggressively. My first instinct might be anger, right? Setting up that ego versus ego fight.
Oh, yeah. Been there.
But sometimes now, instead, I notice this sadness, a sadness that the other person is feeling so cut off from peace that they need to act like that.
That's a very different response.
And because I'm not hooking into that battle energy, I don't feel the need to punish them or teach them a lesson, by breaking suddenly or whatever. I just keep driving. That's how love acts, isn't it? It doesn't need to control or correct. It just extends itself.
That's such a practical way of opting out of the ego's game. Because the ego makes everything personal. Every interaction becomes a test, a potential slight, a power struggle. When you stay grounded in recognizing love, you don't feed into the other person's story that they're under attack or need to fight. It's like being a tuning fork for love instead of an amplifier for fear.
Oh, I like that. A tuning fork.
Yeah.
Because it explains why we don't have to force change in someone else. If you're genuinely tuned to love, you're just broadcasting that frequency.
Okay, so staying with fear and control. Let's look at that line. In you, time disappears and place becomes a meaningless belief. This one can feel a bit abstract. Time feels intensely real and meaningful.
Think about what time and place do. They define limits, they create boundaries. If you believe you are primarily a physical body,
Then you have to exist somewhere specific and for a limited duration. Start and end.
exactly. Time and place are the cornerstones of the belief in separation. They seem to prove that our existence is finite and separate.
Got it.
But if we're truly surrounded by love that is the only reality, then those limits, time and place, can't actually contain or define what is limitless.
So they can't be fundamentally real. They must be constructs, beliefs.
Meaningless beliefs in the ultimate sense. They don't apply to our true nature.
Okay, that reframes things quite a bit. I used to think of timelessness as those moments of deep focus, like getting lost in writing, flow states.
Those are glimpses.
But maybe timelessness is more about the mind simply stopping its constant narration about the past regrets, memories, and the future worries, plans.
Yes, that's a huge part of it. Silencing that internal narrator. When you're fully present, Maybe just petting your cat, feeling the sun on your face, sitting on a bench. Your mind isn't racing ahead or dwelling behind. That quiet presence, that's a taste of timelessness.
And placelessness.
It's realizing your physical coordinates don't determine your access to love. Love is just as present in your car or at your desk as it is anywhere else. Location doesn't add or subtract from it. It's always right here. And think about how much energy goes into maintaining that internal chatter, the judgments, the constant self-critique, the planning, the worrying.
The ego is constantly trying to manage things, solve problems that might not even be real.
And that self-monitoring. Like we're always auditioning for some invisible judge.
Totally.
I know I've certainly had that fantasy, where you imagine yourself in some difficult public situation, like dealing with an angry person on a plane, and you just handle it perfectly. You say exactly the right, wise, calming thing, and everyone is amazed. But the thing is, love isn't a performance. There's no script. We don't have to be perfect or have the magic word.
But it's true, isn't it? When you're genuinely coming from a place of wanting to extend love or just peace, that internal narrator, it does get quieter. There's just less energy available for spinning those separation stories when your focus is simply on being present and connecting with what's real in yourself and the other person.
And that willingness to connect, to be present, leads right into the lesson's final lines.
Yeah.
That invitation. Must we not join in what will save the world along with us?
I always notice the phrasing there. It's an invitation, not a command or a burden. If you truly accept you're surrounded by love, sharing that somehow feels like the most natural next step.
Mm-hmm. And it clarifies what saving the world might mean in this context. It's not necessarily about grand actions or fixing external problems. It's about consistently honoring the truth, the inner light in others, no matter what their ego is doing.
Regardless of their behavior or presentation.
Yes. Can we walk through how someone might apply this step by step when they feel that pressure, that friction?
Let's try. It's really about integrating the lesson into that moment of decision. So maybe 5 steps to move from that reactive feeling to a more centered response.
Right. Step 1.
Step 1, pause and notice. The situation arises and you feel that immediate internal reaction. Don't just react. Pause. Just notice what's happening inside, physically and emotionally.
Just observe it without judgment.
Just notice. That's the ego kicking in with its story.
Okay, got it. Step 2.
Step 2, gently repeat the idea. Silently, or even whispered, bring the lesson to mind. I am surrounded by the love of God. Let that truth begin to settle you. The aim here is to disconnect your sense of safety and worth from the outcome of this specific interaction. You are safe regardless.
Recentering in that larger reality before dealing with the specific demand.
Yes, it brings perspective.
Okay, step 3.
Step 3, acknowledge how you feel. Be really honest with yourself without beating yourself up. Acknowledge the tension, the resentment, the fear. I feel resistant.
Don't try to spiritually bypass the feeling. Just name it. This is the ego story I'm hearing right now.
Precisely. Acknowledging it reduces its power. You see it for what it is, just a perspective, not the ultimate truth about the situation.
Makes sense. Step 4.
Step 4, ask for help. Ask your inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, whatever name you use, please help me see this differently. Or is responding yes here truly an extension of love? Or is it coming from fear or obligation? You're asking for the Holy Spirit's perception to replace the ego's judgment about the situation being a threat or a burden.
Okay. And the final step.
Step 5, rest and respond. Just take a moment, maybe even just one conscious breath, anchored in that truth, I am surrounded by the love of God. Feel the safety of that space. then respond. But whatever the response is, it comes from a distant place. It's offered without the hidden cost of resentment or the feeling of sacrifice. It comes from a place of recognizing the abundance of love, not the ego's perceived scarcity of time or energy.
So the boundary, if needed, is set lovingly, without judgment, because you've first reestablished your own grounding in love.
Yes. You're no longer defending a small, vulnerable self. You're responding from the security of being surrounded by love itself. Because the core message is you can't actually be depleted by giving love, because love is infinite and it's what you are. If you feel depleted, it's simply a signal that you've temporarily forgotten the truth of this lesson. You've bought into the ego's lie of scarcity.
So the feeling of depletion is the invitation back to remembering, I am surrounded by the love of God.
Absolutely. You don't need to conjure up this love. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions to feel it. It's here now. It's the very fabric of reality, available in any moment you choose to look past the ego's fearful narrative and just accept it.
That's a powerful place to stand throughout the day.
Hold on to that. And if you have thoughts on this or experiences applying it, we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you for joining us in this practice.
Yes, thank you for being part of this community.
Until tomorrow, keep practicing love
Yeah.
and remember the love that holds you.